Welcome to PC Wits Kids Tech Talk. Today we're looking at the Transcend SSD370S. Now this SSD drive comes in different models, different sizes of course. They do have other ones as well, but today we're looking at the 256GB model. Okay, you can install this obviously in your MacBook, PC. It's nice silver aluminum housing, solid state drive, good quality in construction of course. We don't want it flimsy, but it's nice and thin, so it's going to fit in your laptop no problem. Should you decide you want to install this in a desktop, no problem. It will install in there as well. It comes with the bracket and screws, of course, the manual, the instructions. By the way, this has a 3-year warranty. Okay, so Transcend stands by their product, as you can see, and all the instructions are there provided. Here is the bracket, okay, that you would use to install in your desktop PC, should you decide to do that. If you don't, that's fine. Just ignore that bracket. Just put it in your laptop. You can see that for the desktop, you would just align it with the holes, put in the screws to attach it to that bracket. There are the screws that it comes provided, okay, for your desktop installation or laptop. And you're good to go, right, after you attach the power and the ribbons. Here are some specs. You can pause the screen to look at that should you want to see the back of the box. But here are the specs actually from Transcend on the website. You can see there what I said about the 3 years warranty, operational temperature speeds, the size of the drive should you care to know that. Here are some specifications on the controller. Okay, so you can see the controller is different depending on the model. And that's because as we get a higher quality controller, the chip that's on inside of the SSD, the speeds vary, okay, and you can get better performance. 560 megs per second on the read, 320 megabytes per second on the write from Aida64 Benchmarks is what Transcend says we should be getting. I'm going to test that on this machine. Here are my specs of my desktop PC that I installed this drive in. So it's Windows 10 using the latest and greatest here, a Z97 chipset, very fast PC running 16 gigs of memory, so this drive can perform as well as it can. And we're going to put it to the test right now, starting off with those Aida64 benchmarks. Okay, so here we go. We ran it with the same settings that the Transcend folks did when they advertised it on their box, on their site. And on the website, it showed 560 megs per second. Well, guess what? I got 563 megs per second on the read, so that's bang on to what they advertised, and 315 megs per second on the write, which is basically close to what they advertised as well. So really, really well done there on those results. Now the crystal disk benchmarks, slightly different, depends on the benchmark that you do and the tool that you use. The results might vary, but we're looking for consistency. So as we do tests, we want to make sure that we're getting what is advertised. We're getting consistency on the reads, on the writes, random reads, linear writes. Here's an example of what I'm talking about. On the Aida64 benchmarks, we see here the linear read, so transferring it in a straight linear fashion, 530 megs per second. On the linear write, we're getting a consistent 300 megs per second, roughly. There we go. Okay, so that is consistent with what they advertise. But here's a real-world scenario. I've got 2 SSDs in this desktop, the Transcend and another SSD. And the Transcend drive is the D drive. And I'm copying from one place to the other. Okay, so a 3 gig movie file transferred in 4.69 seconds. Okay, that shows you how fast it is to transfer from an SSD to an SSD. There's no holds bar there. Definitely fast. And you can see it even copying backwards from one other drive to the Transcend. So either way, terrific results. PC Mark 8, I'm really looking for the storage benchmarks bandwidth. That's 238 megs per second. And that's a calculation that they come up with from doing all these various different types of SSD tests. And here is how it compares to these other drives. You can pause the screen to take a look at that. Definitely a great drive. Definitely recommend it. I've seen it on Newegg.com in this first quarter of 2016 for about $111.99 US. Other retailers might sell for less. Check it out. Comment below. Let me know what you think. And again, thank you for watching.